lives and older. Yes. And I'm just turning on. What was the question?
Are you gay?
Not yet. That's what I said.
You
Yep.
mean you're not happy?
I am ecstatic right now. Yeah, I know. But I thought we meant it another way. So,
What other way is there?
can I demonstrate? That was a joke, maybe. All right. I want to start with a question that's going to be, I was trying to think of all the different things. I've read a few books, movies. So here's the question I've got before we turn it over to you. And you guys start lining up over there where Mike and the pink hat's going. Just line up over there and just start. We'll get through your questions. I'm only going to ask just this one. You guys have partied and hung out with people that you probably never even talked about. Both. Both of you. Yeah. Yes, both of you. Can you tell me, both of you, and each take your own turn, and if you want to start first, what is the craziest damn story you have about you would never believe and we hung out with this person? I know, that's probably hard because there's a ton, right? What's your favorite?
I can't remember when I ate 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I bet there's some that you're like, I can't believe that happened.
I think Cheech better answer that one.
Why I better. I think the most famous and oddest and funniest and weirdest person we ever hung out was Peter Sellers.
Oh, can you talk about Peter Sellers for a minute? If you guys know the Pink Panther, Blake Clouseau, yes.
Being there.
Being there.
Peter was a big fan of the records.
You're very old.
Okay, if you have a question, just go over here and get in line. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Peter was a big fan of the Cheech Chong records when we first came out.
Right.
And Lou Adler, who was
Our producer.
producing, Lou was involved with Peter's wife.
Yeah.
who
Ex-wife.
At the time,
Ex-wife.
ex-wife was Britt Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And so Peter and Lou hooked up. You know, when they heard Cheech and Chong, Peter arranged for us to tour England,
Yes.
London and outside of London. And so we flew to London,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they landed, when the plane landed, the stewardess came back and said, "You guys stay on the plane because we got a special place for you to exit."
Yeah.
And so when we got off the plane, they took us to this area at Heathrow, I guess it was. And in the area, there's a limousine was parked there. And as we walked up to the limousine, the back window rolled down, and then this hand holding a biggest chunk of hash. I've never seen a bigger hunk since. It was burning at the end. And it was like, "Welcome to England." and so Cheech and I got in the car, we toked up, and then I don't remember after that.
There was nothing after that. Peter was so odd in that he would never speak on the phone in his own voice.
Well, he had a hard time when he did the Muppets of not being able to just, that thing where you talk to Kermit,
Yeah.
he couldn't be himself.
Yeah, he would call. I remember one time we were in Washington, D.C., and we got a call. Leslie Horwinkle called. And Leslie Horwinkle was one of the characters from the records.
Yes.
And that was the signal of Peter Sellers' call. Okay, so we'd have to call him back. And so, "Hey, Peter, this is Cheech. I got your call." Oh, Mr. Sellers. And he had a Vietnamese or
Chinese, yeah.
houseboy. And so Mr. Sellers called. He said, "You come for lunch." Okay, so come for lunch. We got there, Pete, and me and Tommy and all. We got out there and go to his house in the country and then go to the real side. Hi, it's Cheech Chong here for Peter. Oh, Mr. Sellers said you come in. Okay. And then we'd go in there, and Peter would come to the door. "Hey, what?" And then there was nobody else in the house. Really, we stayed all day, had lunch, and there was nobody else in the house. It was just him, and he would do that all the time.
And he booked us, he helped do the booking. And one of the places, we played all these venues. And in fact, we played Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club. Because we told everybody, we like working little jazz clubs. And Ronnie Scott's got this jazz club in London. And so Cheech and I, we're used to doing our shows in LA and in New York and that. So we do our show. And then we had to do 2 shows. After the first show, the owner of the club, he comes up. He says, good show, boys, but here's 50 quid. Don't do the doggies. And the doggy routine was where Cheech and I would act like little dogs.
Right.
And would smell each other's butt. And then one of us would, usually me, I'd have to take a dump. We did all this, and then, it was a very funny bit. But not really quite suited for the English.
And do yourself a favor, if you don't know who Peter Sellers was, you're absolutely right. Being There, directed by Hal Ashby, is one of the greatest American films of all time. And by the way, it's like Network. It's just as important today as it was then. It's gotten even more.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Anybody seen the Pink Panther movies?
Yeah.
Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
One more story.
Please.
I was flying to Washington.
Yeah.
We had a gig there, and Cheech wasn't there. Cheech went to New York. He had some business in New York. And so I flew, and we get on the plane, and there's Peter. And so I sat with Peter, and he gave me a Polaroid picture of him on the movie Being There. And at the time, Peter was going with the daughter of the ambassador from where? Netherlands?
Yeah, Switzerland. No, Sweden.
Sweden,
yeah.
The Swedish ambassador. And so Peter was staying in Washington at the place, the place there. So
Where the ambassador
I was
stayed.
flying with our roadie, Jimmy Root, and a very great magician named Ricky Jay. Remember Ricky?
Ricky Jay and his 52 friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Ricky Jay. And so we're all on the plane. We're flying. Peter says, you gotta come first of all, we took Peter out for lunch, or for dinner or whatever. And,
Meal.
And while we were out there, Ricky Jay arranged a trick, a magician's trick. And so at the end of the meal, Ricky Jay signaled the waiter. The waiter brings over like a platter with a cover. He picks up the cover. There's a block of ice with a lemon inside the ice. And before he did all that, he had Peter pick a card and write his name on the card. Bring out the ice and the thing with the lemon. Open up, and there's, like I said, a block of ice. We watch him break the ice, bring out the lemon, full lemon, cut it in half, and guess what's inside the lemon?
The card.
The car.
Folded with Peter Sellers. Now, I really think Peter almost had a heart attack.
One of his many.
Because he was so amazed. We all were. How did he do that?
Yeah. If you don't know who Ricky Jay is, he passed away a few years ago. He's on several David Mamet. Oh my God, we could go down the road here. I'm so sorry. Look him up.
Oh no, he was incredible.
He was the world's greatest card magician. I mean, anything with cards. He could throw a card over a 3-story building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was incredible. And so then we went to the ambassador's resident after, No, we're all, of course, we got stoned. and we're sitting there, and
It happens.
there's a row of buttons that you can push like a doorbell. And we said, Peter, what's this for? He said, well, let's find out. He pushes the button, and here comes a maid, waiter. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? And we spent most of the day pushing buttons and laughing and screaming. People were coming. Oh, man.
Thank you all so much. I will shut up now, but aren't you glad I started with that first question? All right, sir, our first victim, yell out your question.